today I'll be taking you through the classification of matter in this video. Our essential question today is, how do we classify matter? So matter is the stuff in our universe, anything that has mass and takes up space, and we can classify it, as we learned, as a pure substance or as a mixture. And mixtures are much more common in our world. For a pure substance, we can write a chemical formula, and it is one type of atom. It contains one type of atom or one type of molecule. Here, our elements are made up of one type of atom. So, for example, here, iron. Okay, if we drew iron atoms, they'd all be the same, and we'd only have iron atoms. Okay, if we drew oxygen, remember, oxygen is diatomic. O2 has only one type of atom, just oxygen atoms. These are elements, and we find them on our periodic table. Now, if we're a compound, we only contain one type of molecule, one type of bonded piece. So, for example, we could have H2O, our favorite compound. So if we have oxygen here and some hydrogens, let me fill in that, make a couple more water molecules. Okay, every piece of water is the same. Each piece of water is an H2O molecule. These are two or more different atoms which are chemically bonded together. Next, our mixtures, they take up most of our world, okay? So mixtures are made up of more than one type of pure substance. More than one type of pure substance that is mixed together. Now, if the pure substances are mixed evenly, and you cannot see the difference between one part of the mixture as another, then we call those solutions, and we call them homogeneous. So we have solutions, things like Kool-Aid, okay, salt water. Air is a mixture. Air is a mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, and argon. We also have metal mixtures, which are called alloys. So those are homogeneous mixtures, and we cannot see the difference between one part of the mixture as another. Now, if we can see different parts in the mixture, that's called a heterogeneous mixture. So things like salad dressing. Okay, pizza is a mixture. Okay, people are mixtures. Okay, different parts look different. So you could have muddy water. If it settles, that would be heterogeneous. We can't say that one part is exactly the same as the other. We can see differences in different parts. Now, the other way we can classify matter is by looking at the state of matter. So the state of matter can be solid, liquid, or gas. We do have a fourth state of matter, which is called plasma, but we will deal with that very much in chemistry, at least in this first class. So the state of matter, we can also draw particle diagrams that show the state of matter. So in this first diagram, we have a solid. The atoms are fixed in place. Okay, there is still some energy, some motion, but basically they're fixed in place, and they have a fixed volume and fixed shape. Okay, they're dense, right? The atoms are usually packed together very tightly. Now, if you apply some energy to the solid, they start jiggling around. The bonds start loosening, and now these atoms can slide past each other and jiggle around. This is called a liquid. Okay, so now the atoms move randomly. Okay, there's a random motion. You still have a fixed volume, right? You can measure the volume of a liquid and pour it into something to measure it, but it has no shape. Now, if you apply even more energy, you can break the bonds that are holding the liquid together, and now you have just gas particles that are moving in completely random motion, very random, very quickly, okay? And they are taking up the whole container. They spread out, okay? And they have no fixed shape or volume. The gas will just take up the whole space if you allow it to. So let's look at some examples. So for these 6 examples here, 7 examples, we want to say what type of matter we have and what the state of matter is. So in this first one, this would be an element. Why? I only see one type of atom. Okay, and it's spread out over the whole container, so I would say this is a gas. For B, this first thing right here looks like a molecule with different atoms in it. So I would say, and the other thing is down here, I see some completely different type of atom on the bottom, but these atoms are all the same. So I would say that this is a mixture of a compound and an element. Okay, this is a pure substance, a pure element, pure substance. So now, so we have a mixture of a compound and an element. These are floating around on top. I would say these are gas, and these are kind of on the bottom, but they don't look quite organized. They look like they might be jiggling a bit. I would say these are liquid, but if you said they were solid, I would accept that too. It's a little hard to tell. In C, I see 2 different types of atoms. Okay, one type of atom and then another type of atom. This is a mixture of elements. And they're taking up the whole container, so these are gas. Here I see molecules with 2 different types of atoms bound together. This is a compound. This is a pure substance because every piece looks the same. So this is a compound, and it's just lying on the bottom. It doesn't look quite fixed, or, I mean, it's hard to tell, but you could say this is a liquid or a solid. Okay, it's not quite clear which one it is, but either one would be acceptable. Now we can, if we have a description like sugar dissolved in water, well, if the sugar's dissolved, I can't tell the difference between the top of the sugar water as the bottom. This is a homogeneous mixture. I know it's a mixture because we have sugar in it and we have water. And we can't tell the difference between the parts. Aluminum foil in E, well, aluminum is an element on the periodic table, so I gave it away. It's an element. Okay, and then F, salt, okay, NaCl. Well, I see 2 different elements, right? Capital N, capital C means we have sodium and we have chloride, chlorine, okay, sodium chloride. Salt is a compound. Okay, writing these elements together means that they are chemically bonded. They are bonded together into a unit. So this is a compound. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. We'll be doing more examples in class during the next class. So please ask questions if you have any, and see you next time.